Hey, what's up guys and gals? My name is Rick 9G. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be talking about the horror film Dracula's Daughter. It's a Universal Pictures film, and I want to get into why it's such an interesting film and the absolute tragedy that happened filming while on set. Now, if you don't know, this is my third annual Halloween special where I'm covering sequels for movies and just overall Halloween content for classic TV shows. Liking this video, commenting, and subscribing are the best ways to support a channel like myself. Thank you so much for doing so. Now, this film came out in 1936. It was the sequel to the very popular 1931 horror film, the classic Dracula with Bela Lugosi. It is such a wonderful film, the original. And then this one, I don't know, is it one that you hear of more? Let me know in the thoughts down below. Is it a popular one or not? I'll go through the film for you in case you haven't seen it or in case you want a little bit of reminder of how the film went. Then we'll go into some of the behind the scenes stuff as well as talking about the absolute tragedy that happened on set. So if you remember the first film, Dracula, it ends with Van Helsing, Professor Van Helsing, putting a stake through the heart of Dracula. And that's essentially where this film begins. It's right getting into the action. Count Dracula had that stake put through his heart. He is destroyed. Now, Scotland Yard charges him with murder. That is Professor Van Helsing. Now, there's a doctor that we are introduced to, Jeffrey Garth. He's a psychiatrist, and he may be able to act as an attorney and defend Van Helsing in court. But Garth finds that he has his own troubles when a mysterious woman appears in his life. Her name was Countess Myra Zaleska. Now, she is the one who is seeking his help. She wants to be released from her desire to drink blood of the living, but she doesn't tell him this. She just says she has a really big problem, essentially. Now, what does she do? She steals a corpse of her father. Yes, she is Dracula's daughter. She steals a corpse and burns it, thinking that that will free her from her curse of wanting to drink others' blood, but it really doesn't. Now, she pretty much wants to do anything to free herself from this curse, including what she does, which is kidnapping the Baron's daughter, who is Dr. Garth's assistant. A little confusing there, but, overall, it works. Now, the Countess Myra is played by Gloria Holden, and she's pretty good in the part. I also liked Otto Kruger as Jeffrey Garth. He was good as well, and I really loved Edward Van Sloan. He was in the first one, and honestly I didn't pay too much attention to him, but I paid a lot more attention to him here, and I loved his character after getting a lot more used to him. And when you think about this film, for the amount of money they spent for it, it was never as popular as Dracula. Maybe it had that quote-unquote sequel curse. They spent, in 1936, $278,000 to make this movie. It was one of Universal's most expensive films. Now, there was an appearance of the corpse of Dracula, and there was a really good likeness to Bela Lugosi. Now, that wasn't really Bela Lugosi. That was a wax figure that they made, and essentially that's what they burned. Yes, I know it's surprising, but they didn't burn the actual actor. Now, what would have been if you think about this? Because initially, they were going to get Bela Lugosi, which I do think they should have done. It was still a pretty okay film, not bad, but okay. But I think it would have been so much better with Bela Lugosi in it. They were also going to put Jane Wyatt in it as well in the film. They were going to also have Boris Karloff, Colin Clive in the film as well, who were both in Frankenstein 1931 and Bride of Frankenstein, as well as Cesar Romero, a very young Cesar Romero playing Dr. Garth. That would have been amazing. Of course, it didn't pan out. I guess the budget was really high and they couldn't get all those people. Now, even though Bela was not in the film, he actually had an opportunity to be on set. There are some photos, which I'll show you here, which he and Gloria Holden are on set during production, and they're absolutely amazing. There's some really casual ones, and then there's some where there's really sinister, really cool. I think it's absolutely amazing to see these. And now the tragic accident that happened on set. It actually happened to the director of the film. His name was Lambert Hillier. Now, he was injured while he was on set. In fact, it was the 9th day of filming this movie. And according to what they say, according to the story, or that is real life, it was actually on a Friday the 13th. Take that as you will. Let me know if you think that contributed at all. But yes, it was really Friday the 13th. and there was a freestanding fill light that was used during the set, during filming, and the wire or where it was latched onto snapped. It completely snapped and it free fell onto his head. And as a result, he was severely injured because of this. So they actually did lose half a day of shooting because of this, because he was hospitalized. But thank goodness he did recover. He didn't, pass away from the result of this injury, but it did set the film back. Now, the whole fact that it happened on Friday the 13th, I wanted to verify that. So I actually went back to the actual calendar, looked this up. It took me some time, but I can say this is what I found. Now, according to reports, this film began filming February 4th, 1936, and it finished March 10th, 1936. So about a month's time. Now, what's interesting about it is if you look, it said the 9th day of production. So if we started on the 4th, of February, the 9th day of production would be on the 13th, but it would actually fall on a Thursday. But remember, also production finished in March the 10th. So if you look at the dates as well and you start, and there is a March 13th in 1936, and it is on a Friday, but that would essentially be a little bit after they finish production. So it's a little hazy there. Again, I wanted to bring you this information to just verify the reports of this and actually when it happened. So I want to know your thoughts down below. Do you think they just attribute it to March having a Friday the 13th? What do you think? I'd love to know your thoughts down below. It's great to know that the director Lambert Hillier wasn't fatally injured with the light falling on him, but I did want to bring it to you because, of course, it was something that we need to know about. We'll see y'all next time. I hope you're enjoying my Halloween special. More Halloween classics will be coming up before Halloween. We'll see you all then, and most importantly, be hopeful. A really big thank you to all my Diamond tier patrons: Jerry D, Stacy L, Scott R, Citizen Kane 359, Jennifer P, David D, Kevin K, Sally N, and Vito L. If you want to be on this list or receive exclusives as a great way to support the channel, visit my Patreon description below. Thank you.